You won't believe the bargain I stumbled upon for peaches. Fresh peaches in our freezer. And we're going to be putting some tomatoes in the freezer and a couple of other things to do today. We're on Plan B, and we have peaches, Georgia peaches that we purchased at the Amish farm stands. Y'all, we bought a half a case. I'm going to show you that in a bit. But before we get into that, I've been out in my garden, and we are harvesting our tomatoes, and y'all, they're getting less and less. The vines just did not survive the heat, and the other vines we had problems. The soil was a problem, and there were so many problems, y'all, this year. And I also harvested, I'm going to tilt this, there we go. This is dill, y'all. This is mammoth dill, and so I've harvested some of that, and we're going to get started by getting these boxed up and getting them out of the way, getting this bagged up, and then I'm going to get into the peaches. So we are fortunate that we have Amish in our community, and these are tomatoes that have been sitting here ripening, and I'm going to add some more, and as these ripen, I'm putting them in the freezer until my outdoor kitchen is complete. If I run out of room, I'll just stew them up and put them back in the freezer. But we have so many tomatoes this year, and I'm so glad that we're getting the Amish paste and the Romas. They make wonderful sauces. So spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce, tomato sauce, tomato paste, things like that. And so I use a cardboard box. This absolutely is one of those soda boxes. My husband still drinks sodas. I can't seem to break him of that. And I'm just going to leave these sit out in my house, and I'll rotate them every day until they are ready to go into my freezer. Now this one is close. There's a couple of them that are close, and if they start to go bad or they have bad spots, they go out to our birds. I'm going to be using the paper bag method for now, but as the season draws to a close, I'm going to go back to those Dollar Tree baskets that I bought last year. But this works really good, and I am going to be harvesting the flower heads and seeds. Some of these have already started going to seed, and so I'm just going to be clipping the tops of these off and throwing them into my bag. Now some of these, when I went to harvest it, I didn't take out a pair of scissors, and I should have, and I got the stems, so they are beautiful. And I've seen some that were huge, but not all of them. And so I've got some of these fronds on here too. I'm just going to grab those off and throw them in the bag, because we don't want to waste anything if we can help it. So let me grab these. The stems are going to go out to my chickens, or they can go out into your compost pile. One little bed that I did of dill. But we have established anise hyssop and another type. I think we have another type of anise out there, if I'm not mistaken. We also established our oregano. And basil. We had basil come back. We have several varieties of basil out there. We use a lot of basil around our homestead. We use a lot of oregano. This year I'm doing fairly well with the lavender. I finally found a way to get my lavender to stay alive. So we're hoping that we can get it established. It's been one of the harder plants to do. My rose bushes are dying back. Or the only rose bush that I have is dying back. And I'm kind of sad about that because it's the only rose bush I have that has any fragrance to it. So here is the cutting board that I did the other day. I'm going to go ahead and throw these stems out and see if the chickens will eat them. If not, I'll know next time to throw them into our compost pile. Let's get that dill a-drying. So this is our box of peaches. Now I've got a couple of them that are starting to go bad on me because I didn't get to them right away. You really do need to process your peaches the same day that you bring them in, or within a day, because they ripen really, really quickly. So these are peaches, and we paid $25. I don't know if y'all can see that. We paid $25 for half a case. And so a case of this would be a half bushel by volume, so that is a quarter bushel of peaches. I'm going to grab my bowl and some bags, get them labeled and ready. We're going to stuff our bags in the freezer so that we can have peaches this winter and maybe some peach cobbler. Now normally I would take these and can them and have them on my pantry shelf, but because I don't have my canners in the house right now, I'm going to do Plan B, which is the freezer. Here's a neat little tip for you. Using your canning lifter, you can make a stand for your bags. Once I get the bag on the lifter, I can use my funnel to make sure that the peaches go inside the bag. Makes it easy peasy. Now you can use citric acid or you can use real lemon juice. It's suggested that you parboil your peaches to get the skins off. I'm skipping that step. I've never done it that way, but you can use a tablespoon for a big bowl of peaches just to keep them from browning. I could probably use just a capful because it's probably going to be the same as my little 1 teaspoon. And I'm just going to throw that in the bag. Set my spoon over here because I don't need acid on my granite counter. And you don't want to keep the pits, and the skins are going to go to our birds, or you can throw them in the compost bin, or I'm sure you probably could candy them, although I've never tried to do that. And we're just going to get these things peeled, and then I'm going to chop them up as I put them in the bags. And you're probably going to need a muck towel to wipe your counter off because they're quite juicy. And I use about 6 peaches for our cobblers because it's just me and my husband. So there's the first peach in the bag. And of course you're gonna, when you seal it, all that juice on the bottom is going to go on all of your peaches. So we paid $25 for a quarter bushel of peaches. That came down to $2 a pound for peaches because there's usually about 12 pounds in a quarter bushel. So the total cost of our bags of peaches was $3.12 each. That is an amazing deal, considering that peaches can be quite expensive when you buy them by the case or by the bushel. Pre-frozen peaches in the store runs about $5.70 a quart, so we really did get a great deal on this. Yes, it's a little work, but I'd rather do the work and have fresh organic peaches in our freezer. Plus, I know exactly what went inside the bag. A little bit of lemon juice and fresh peaches. 8 quarts going into the freezer, and I'm really excited about all the things that I can make with fresh peaches this winter. A quarter bushel box usually runs $35 to $40. A half bushel, which would be 25 pounds of peaches, normally runs between $55 to $60. And premium peaches that come gift boxed can run as much as $50 to $90. So this is a 1 quart bag, and this is actually 6 peaches. Some of them were large, some of them were smaller. Probably 6 medium peaches is what you're aiming for. And they're going to hold their color because I added that little bit of lemon juice. This is going directly into the freezer. I still have a lot to work through. We'll be back when we've finished. And here are our peaches and tomatoes in the freezer. We have 8 bags, or 8 quarts. And here are homegrown tomatoes waiting to be canned. I probably could make peach jam or peach jelly with the skins, but they're going to our chickens. I hope that you have enjoyed watching. Be blessed and a blessing.